Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we gotta be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving on in. So folks, as we obviously already know, the biggest story yesterday was what happened in the Detroit Lions training camp practice as far as the joint practice between themselves and the Miami Dolphins. And everybody's already been talking about it. Everybody has just absolutely been, enamored, excited, just absolutely been losing their minds over all the reports that have been coming out. And you know what? It's been great to talk about the reports. I myself talked about them yesterday, but what truly makes this absolutely fun to do, what truly makes this absolutely something that is, you can't get enough of, is when you actually get the highlight clips, when you actually start to see what was going on in practice. Because I'm going to tell you this, even if you're in practice, unless you are just totally fixated on one particular thing, you're not going to catch everything. And even if you do fixate on that, you're missing out on other stuff that's happening across the field. So there's no way you're going to be able to see everything that's going on, which means these highlight clips that we get to take a look at are just absolutely not only a joy to watch, but they're chock full of information, and they are just also a reaffirmation of just how dominant the Detroit Lions were yesterday in the joint training camp practice between the Lions and the Dolphins. So I was absolutely just, scurrying around on Twitter last night, and I was just like, okay, I need to find these highlight clips. I need to find as much of them as I possibly can, because what you're going to notice here is that virtually almost all of these clips are from the offense. I think there's only going to really be one of them that's from the defense, which, again, that's not to say that the defense did not have an absolutely spectacular job yesterday. They did. They dominated. But, again, going back to what I talked about yesterday, that's not going to get as much, recognition or talk about because of the fact that the Dolphins obviously didn't have Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins obviously did not have Tyreek Hill out there. So there was a little bit of, okay, because those two guys were not out there with the Dolphins offense, that wasn't going to get as much recognition. Don't know if those guys are going to practice today or not. We'll see. But one guy that did not practice yesterday in the team drills for the Lions yesterday, who is practicing today, is going to be a full participant, I actually found this out, is going to be, Terrion Allen. He already stated that, yesterday after practice was done, that he is going to be a full participant in practice. So unless, of course, the coaches shut that down, we should be seeing him out there on the field full go. Now, when we start talking about these clips, I'm going to tell you this right now. The thing you're going to see almost in 90 to 95% of these clips is just absolutely just superb ball placement, precision. I mean, it's laser strikes. Absolute laser strikes. And I would say, even though we can't see who the quarterback is in most of these, y'all know it's Jared Goff. You all know that it is primarily Jared Goff because, well, number one, the receiver that's primarily the one that's getting the ball in this is either J-Mo or it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, which means, okay, chances are almost 90 to 95% that it's Goff's the one that's throwing the football. I'm going to tell you this right now. Some of these clips are just absolutely not only a viewpoint of how Jared Goff has been as far as how his accuracy, his precision, his ball placement has just been absolutely superb. Probably some of the best in the NFL. But also some of these clips, it's just like, dude, I have no idea, even with the ball placement being what it is, how some of these guys made these catches, particularly the one by Amon-Ra St. Brown that we're going to talk about quite in depth when we get to it. But let's take a look at some of these clips. What you're going to notice as soon as I start putting some of these clips out on, up on the screen, is just, like I said, the precision of these passes is just absolutely off the damn charts. And what you're also going to notice with these clips is that with the receivers, there's like times where there is nobody around them. These receivers for us, whether it's, like I said, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, hell, even sometimes it's David Montgomery, these receivers have gotten so free and so loose from their defensive coverages as far as who's supposed to be covering them. There's nobody around them within like a freaking 3, 4, 5 yard area. They're just so freaking wide open. Whether it's in the 1v1s, whether it's in the actual team period drills, I mean, you just literally see that with just absolute clarity. I mean, let's just take a look at the one that I have specifically from David Montgomery. This is one where he's coming out of the backfield. He literally beats the guy coming out of the backfield almost immediately from the start. Like, there's nobody on David Montgomery after, he practically clears the line of scrimmage. That's how bad he beats his freaking coverage guy. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about David Montgomery. Not at all, because we've seen David Montgomery be an excellent receiver for us out of the backfield in the past. But if you want to talk about what freaking running back gets more of the, coverage, more of the, hype as far as being a receiving element, it's Jahmyr Gibbs. But in this particular clip, David Montgomery just absolutely annihilates the guy who's covering him. Then you take a look at some of these clips that I've got from, from J-Mo. Again, J-Mo obviously, I'm not trying to hype this up for more than what it is or trying to talk about it for more than what it is, but J-Mo obviously, what everyone's going to remember about from him yesterday was the whole fact of, the fight that he got into with Ife Melifonwu at the end of practice. And I wouldn't at all be surprised if during Campbell's media session before the joint practice starts today, if somebody asks him a question about that, because that's obviously going to come up. I have no doubt about that in my mind. But again, when you take a look at the clips of J-Mo actually in practice, catching the ball, running the routes, again, you notice the exact same thing we've been hearing about J-Mo all damn summer, all damn offseason, all damn training camp. His route running is so smooth. It's so crisp. I mean, it literally looks like you're watching lightning, because his routes are just so absolutely they're much better. I wouldn't say they're like 100% precise, but he is so much better than where he was last year. And again, last year he was a 1,000-yard receiver. His route running is crisp, it's nasty, it's slick. And then on top of that, his ability to catch the ball, again, that's also improved. And you're just seeing that time after time after time with these clips, whether it was, prior to the joint training camp practices against our own defense, or now, as we're seeing with these clips, against somebody else's defense. He's just absolutely just on another level this year. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The clips that absolutely 100% take the entire show away is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday was just like, you know what? It don't matter who you try to throw on me. It don't matter who you try to put as my guy, as the cover corner. I'm going to beat him every time. And you literally just, you see that. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Again, I don't know if Amon-Ra St. Brown has gotten faster this year, but it sure as hell looks like it in some of these clips. Because again, like I was talking about earlier, there are times during these clips Amon-Ra St. Brown beats his cover man by at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 steps. Like, he is that far out in front of who the cover guy is. It's not even a contest. And then again, like I said, the precision of the throws that Goff is putting on Amon-Ra St. Brown in those clips, the ones that I'm talking about, highlighting specifically, because again, there's one that I really want to talk about. The precision is just absolutely pinpoint. Like, St. Brown doesn't even have to stop. He doesn't have to pause. The ball is literally right there at head level. It's right there in front of him. It's at chest level. Literally, all Amon-Ra St. Brown has to do is just literally put his hands up and just keep running. The precision is just absolutely like a laser. And again, you see also in some of those throws where Goff is just absolutely ripping it. Just absolutely just throwing it with this, not only precision like a laser, but it is coming out like a laser. It is just, vroom, and it just is like, oh, the massive amount of just, sheer domination that we were seeing from the passing unit in these clips is just absolutely, I wouldn't say unbelievable because I sure as hell believe it, but it's like unworldly. It is like, dude, the Lions were just on, some other planet somewhere yesterday because there was nobody that was touching them, nobody that was even coming close to them in terms of how well they were executing their offense. And again, that goes back to, in my opinion, how you have this Lions offense that everybody's been wanting to make, this big news, big deal about, this rocky transition from Ben Johnson. And it's like, dude, we've been going up against this defense, which absolutely just made the Dolphins offense, again, like I said, without Waddle and without Tyreek Hill out there, but still absolutely made this Dolphins offense look like pee-wee football yesterday. When you have 20 damn near play selections in a red zone drill between the first and second team offense, and you can only score one touchdown against the first and second team Lions defense, that right there is a big, big indicator of just how powerful, how dominant, how explosively difficult it is to try and do anything against our defense. And as soon as the Lions offense didn't have to, contend with that, it wasn't, we're slightly sputtering here, we're having a couple little problems here and there. No, it was just like, okay, stand the hell out of the way. We are absolutely coming through like a bull in a china shop. And that is exactly what we saw with these clips. But the one clip yesterday, my God, I just, like again, chef's kiss, just, mwah. This one particular play was where you can quite literally see that Jared Goff is throwing this ball towards the back right corner of the end zone. And the placement on this ball absolutely is just perfect. Like, perfect. You could not place this ball any better if you wanted to. But the catch that Amon-Ra St. Brown makes, I saw this catch and I'm like, I've seen this catch before. It's a little bit different, but it looks just like the freaking David Tyree catch by the Giants in the Super Bowl against the freaking Patriots. He literally catches the ball on the freaking Dolphins defender's helmet because the ball is literally put so perfectly that it's coming right across the left-hand side of the face mask, the left-hand side of the helmet of the Dolphins player's head, so where if all Amon-Ra St. Brown had to do is just put his arms out, it would be right there. But again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he quite literally grabs the ball and he's holding it with his, I believe it's his right hand, and he's holding it like just glued, plastered to this guy's head. And he just holds on to the ball from there. And it's just like, dude, it's like the ability to concentrate, the ability to focus, to make sure that, hey, I know where the ball is, number one, but that I maintain possession, I maintain control all the way through. Just, again, absolute perfection from Goff as far as the placement, as far as the accuracy, but the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown is able to focus and make sure that he keeps this catch, and, he's doing it with one hand against another live human being's head. Again, you're talking about how this Lions offense is just absolutely operating on another damn level. It's not even funny. And again, I'm not just taking this from the reports. It's like I'm seeing live, actual visual evidence that shows this. I'm telling you this right now. You can look all over freaking Twitter you want. You can take a look at every other training camp highlight tape you can find. I guarantee you this. Mark it down, write it down in the heavens somewhere, wherever. I don't care. You are not going to find highlight clips that are better than this anywhere else in all the other 31 NFL teams. Not going to happen. The Lions, literally in one practice yesterday, pretty much told the entire rest of the NFL, we the best, we know we the best, you guys ain't even on our level. And it was absolutely just a masterpiece of work to watch them in the first joint training camp practice against the Miami Dolphins. It was just absolutely unbelievable how freaking, I don't even know what word I would use, but inferior the Dolphins were defensively to the Lions offense. It was like taking candy from a damn baby. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And when you take a look at those clips, you absolutely can see the evidence that this Lions offense, it is better than where it was last year. It's better in terms of its chemistry. It's better in terms of its overall talent. And it's better in terms of its efficiency in being able to operate in tight spaces, being able to put the ball exactly where it needs to be, get the best result out of what play it's running. I've said it before, and I'll say it again now, and I'll say it again in the future. Just because Ben Johnson is not here does not mean the offensive prowess of the Lions is taking a step back. In fact, if anything, I think the Lions offense is more powerful now than it has ever been. Based upon how these players are performing in practice, based upon how Goff is just absolutely just shredding people, and based upon the fact that John Morton is still putting out those very creative play designs, he's enhancing and maximizing all of the tools that he has available to him. It's just like, dude, like, you cannot tell me that this Lions offense is not better than what it was last year. And if you try, I will literally pull up every highlight clip I have, and I will be like, take a look at the evidence, Sonny. You ain't even in the same league. You have lost the battle before the first charge even got started. Now, I've talked a great deal about the offense. And you know what? There's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The one thing I'm looking forward to, hopefully, from today's joint training camp practice is we get a little bit more clips, a little bit more highlight tape from the defense, because quite literally, I think out of all the clips I was able to find yesterday, I could only find like 2, and primarily they were how do I put this? They were pretty much the defensive line doing lineman work against the offensive line of the Dolphins, and wasn't really seeing a whole lot as far as how we were able to pressure the quarterback or anything else. But again, you just see the domination effect from the defensive lineman, particularly Hutch, and I'll put that clip up here really quickly. I mean, against the tackle that he's going up against in this drill, it's not even like when he's going up against Penei Sewell. Against Penei Sewell can actually go 1v1 with him, macho style, and it's actually kind of like a back and forth. In this drill, the tackle, if I recall correctly, I don't even think he gets a hand on him. Like, that's how freaking fast and how freaking powerful he comes off the edge. Like, the freaking ability to get around the edge, around the corner, his ability to dip, his ability to have that speed off the edge is just absolutely better than what it was last year. And again, this is going up against somebody else's best tackle in practice. And I'm just like, oh, this is just delicious. Like, everybody and their brother wanted to think that freaking Aiden Hutchinson was not going to be able to do anything because of that injury. And it's like, dude, he's better than what he was last year. Freaking, freaking Terminator. Absolute Terminator. Again, I'm just absolutely ecstatic. I'm over the moon watching these clips. I could watch these clips for probably an hour straight. And these are like, 5-10 second clips. And it's just like, dude, this is just absolutely beautiful to watch. This is literally watching, a masterpiece of music in like pure solid motion with human beings be the musical notes. I'm just absolutely awestruck at how, virtuoso this is. Like, just, But anyway, folks, I had to talk about this. I had to show the clips. I had to talk about the clips because while the news itself, the reports yesterday were great, watching the clips was just putting that little cherry on top. And it was just like, again, chef's kiss. Mwah! But, all right, folks. I've had my fun. Hopefully you guys have too. So with that, I just want to say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. But I also want to encourage y'all, if you like the content, to please subscribe to the channel. And if you just subscribed and you've not done it yet, or if you just subscribed, or you've subscribed in the past, pardon me, and you forgot to do so at the time, I want to highly encourage y'all, please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so you guys never miss any more content I push out. Hope y'all are doing fine. Hope y'all got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. And I'm pretty confident that most of you are because, oh, that's right, today is when Madden 26 is going to become available for everybody to be able to play it. Not just the early accessors. Everybody's going to have a chance to play it. So I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to be having some competing viewpoints between, play Madden, make content. So it's going to be a little bit of fun. But anyway, folks, hope y'all are doing fine. Hope y'all got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. God bless. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.